Are you thinking about buying a house in San Marcos, but you're not sure where to start? Well, in today's video, we're checking out Ashton Woods in La Cima, a new construction neighborhood in southwest San Marcos. We're gonna check out their incentives, do a tour of their beautiful model home, one of my favorites I've seen in a while, two of their cottage homes, and just talk about pros and cons of Ashton Woods in La Cima. We're gonna get after it right now. Hey, Daniel here, your local Austin area real estate expert. If you're thinking of making a move to the greater Austin area, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can stay up to date on the latest real estate news. You know, I was a band director for 10 years before I jumped into real estate, but I found that the values and skills I had from teaching translated very well over into this career. Honesty, effective communication, hard work, and really just caring about other people's goals and helping them achieve them is still really important to me. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Love to help you and your family find the perfect home in the greater Austin area. So as you're touring the model, let me talk a little bit about Ashton Woods. That model, by the way, is their Avalon floor plan. Beautiful floor plan. It's a 1-story, 3,059 square foot home, 4-bed, 3-bath, and that home starts at $560,000. You know, with a lot premium and with upgrades, you're probably looking in the high 600,000s, but definitely enjoy that as I'm talking to you about the incentives. So incentives that Ashton Woods are offering, they're actually very good. I was impressed with them. They're offering a 3.99% fixed 30-year FHA or VA loan. Now, what that means, why it's good, is because typically builders will do a 3.99% buy down for a year, and then after the first year, it'll go up to 4.99%. They're keeping it 3.99 the entire time, and right now, FHA loan is at 6.08%, so you're full 2 percentage points lower than top tier lenders are offering on resale. So that's fantastic that Ashton Woods is able to buy that down for you. It's gonna help you tremendously with your monthly mortgage payment. They're also offering $7,500 towards closing costs, which is going to pay off most, if not all, of your closing costs. And they're offering an appliance package. So you're gonna get fridge, washer, dryer, blinds included in the house too. So all of that together, I speak with a lot of builders. This is definitely one of the better offers I've seen, getting all of those things up front. HOA here is $57 a month, not too bad, especially with the amount of trails we have here in La Cima. Tax rate here is 2.51%. Again, not terrible. Typically with new construction neighborhoods, you can expect to be 2.5 to 2.8 range, so 2.51 isn't too bad. La Cima offers two products. So they have cottages, which are 40-foot lots, and estates, which are 70-foot lots. If you wanted to do the to-be-built route, pick a lot and build the exact floor plan you want with all the upgrades you want. It takes about 6 months. They have 42 cottage lots available and 22 estate lots available. So they're estimating about another year to 2 years left building out here. The cottages, the price point there, you're looking in the 300,000s versus and it's about 1,400 to 2,100 square feet. Versus the estates, that's gonna be more in the 500 to 700,000s. And we're looking much larger in the 2,400 to 3,400 square foot homes there. So yeah, those are the two different products. Let's go check out house number 1. Sorry, it's very windy out here. We're gonna be inside very quickly. So first house we're checking out is their Enterprise floor plan. This is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1-story home, 1,400 square feet. And this one's listed at $339,000. It's the lowest priced Ashton Woods home. So I figured it'd be a good one to check out first. Pan around. See, it's still building on that side of the street. Plenty of street parking though. Let's check it out. Beautiful white stone exterior with this one. Pretty long driveway too. And you have this small patio in the front. Very nice 8-foot tall door. We do have a keypad here. We have this vinyl plank flooring, which looks fantastic. And just open foyer area as soon as you walk in. Plenty of space to add a coat rack. Somewhere to kick off your shoes. To the right here, we have our garage. My first gripe is there's stairs going into the garage. I never I just feel like at some point I'm going to fall, so not ideal. But I will say this is a very large garage. So the space between the wall and the garage door, that's what I always check because all garage doors are the same width. It's about 2 feet, which is massive. So you could actually fit 2 cars in here because it's so wide. So that's really nice. You see that the Rainbird irrigation system, water tank tucked away back here. You have your water loop right there, access to the attic, and then just extra space back here. So they were smart to put some outlets here. You can put a table, workbench, and it's not going, because the steps kind of push out a little bit, the cars, you know, aren't gonna come up past here. So this would be a perfect spot to add some shelving, add some tables. Pretty good size. And then does have a security system. I'm assuming all of Ashton Woods homes are gonna come with this. When it has a security system, it's always gonna be a thing where you can choose to pay a subscription to maintain this security system. Something to be aware of if you've never dealt with security systems. It's not like it's gonna come with it and you just have it. You're gonna have to pay a monthly fee to keep the security system working, okay? Before we go into the main living, we have our coat closet here. And then living room. I like that this is staged. It gives you a really good sense of how you can use the space. Dining area, and then kitchen. So let's hang out in the kitchen for a second. Kitchen's not bad. There's kind of good and bad about it. So I will say something that really surprised me with this house is the amount of upgrades they have for the low price in La Cima. There's certain things where it's like, okay, I know it's a small house, a 2-bedroom, so this is gonna be more situated for maybe a first-time homeowner or someone who is downsizing and they're gonna sell their house and they're trying to buy something with cash, something in the low 300s. They only need 2 bedrooms. This would work perfectly for that. I'm looking at this as a first-time homeowner because my first house my wife and I bought, girlfriend at the time, was very similar to this. It was a 1,400 square foot, 2-bed house, but it did not have the amount of upgrades that this one has. And that house cost roughly the same amount as this one too. So what do I mean by upgrades? Well, the countertop, very beautiful quartz countertop that they have in here. Large single basin sink. They've upgraded the faucets, and then we have the purified water here. Like the sink is looking out there. Throughout the house, we have 8-foot tall doors. They did a great job with everything, all the handles, all the hinges, all the faucets are black, so that is consistent throughout the house. We do have a built-in range, 5 burner, 36-inch wide, that's fantastic. But I don't like when builders do this. It is nice, like this is a more gourmet look than just putting a range in here. But it does mean when they put the oven below, the oven's really low to the ground. And so I'm not a big fan of that. I'd prefer when they do the built-in range, they have the built-in oven somewhere, so you have more drawer space. It's just me nitpicking, but it is a nice look. It's better looking than a range, but I don't like the oven so low. Pretty good amount of cabinet space. These are not soft close or anything, so they're nice. I mean, it's 42-inch tall, so lots of space there, but no soft close hinge. Interesting backsplash here at the different types of beige, I guess you would call it. I never know colors. And then yeah, they already have the fridge in here. We can definitely negotiate fridge, washer, dryer, but in the house they already have them. And then off to the side here is your pantry. So I think it's a good amount, like how they use the space is smart. And I like that we have the island and you still have quite a bit of space around the sink. The sink doesn't take up the whole island. Let's go down this way real quick. So this is kind of the guest wing. So first off is our laundry closet, which I'm not a fan of. I wish it was a laundry room. It's also, the placement isn't ideal because where this is, you can turn around, is right in eye contact with where you're gonna be sitting watching TV. And so when that dryer is going, you're going to hear it. So that's something to be aware of. I like that it's far away from the primary bedroom. So if you're doing laundry late at night, you're not gonna hear anything, but if you're doing it in the middle of the day, which is how most people do their laundry, when they're still awake, you're hanging out in the main area, you're gonna be able to hear it pretty well. So not great in regards to that. Here is our guest bathroom. Pretty basic, tiles not going to the ceiling. Again, I like that we have the built-in shelf, all the black fixtures throughout, consistent here, really cool with the different color design here for the cabinets. And then here's our guest bedroom. Kind of a moderate size. It's on the smaller end, honestly. Typically when you have a 2-bedroom in the 1,400 square foot range, you expect both rooms to be a good size. I always advise people, unless you have small kids, if you really want a 3-bedroom, don't look lower than 1,600 square feet because the rooms are gonna be tiny. So I'm surprised with a 2-bedroom, 1,400 square foot home, that room's a little small. Okay, going back here. I'm gonna briefly glance at the back patio. There are, there's a wasp nest right up there, so I'm not gonna go out here too far, but very small back patio, and you can see very small, shallow backyard too. So backyard space, not great. Again, to put that in context, comparing this to my first house that I bought in the low 300,000s, that was a 2-bed. We didn't have a backyard at all. We had like a dog run that was difficult to get to because it was behind the house. So for this price range, it's kind of to be expected. You're not gonna have much of a yard or a back patio space, at least with Ashton Woods. Primary, very nice size. Surprised they didn't add a ceiling fan in there. I'm sure we could negotiate something for that. But very good amount of space here. And then bathroom is beautiful. Bathroom really surprised me, the amount of upgrades. This does not feel like a low $300,000 starter home bathroom. So you got a soaking tub, which is a pretty good size soaking tub too. Dual vanity, separated sinks, really large, already frosted glass. So letting in natural light, but maintaining that privacy, that's really nice. And then to the side here, we have, again, they're keeping the black look with the frame of the frameless walk-in shower. And then we don't have an acrylic pan. They have the tiles on the floor there too. Built-in shelf, not going to the ceiling, kind of subway tile, kind of a little boring, right? But I was surprised when I saw tile on the floor there. And then the walk-in closet for the primary, not massive. Not terrible. They do have a built-in shelf, so that's nice. So yeah, there you have it. That's the Enterprise. I think this is a really good option, like I said, for a first-time homeowner, wants to get into a great neighborhood like La Cima, because you want to take advantage of their amenity center, the nature. There's so much hiking you can do out here. It's really peaceful out in La Cima. So that's a good price for someone who's like buying their first house, or if you are downsizing, maybe you're older and the kids are out of the house and you don't need 5 bedrooms anymore. You just want a small space. This might be a great option for you too. That backyard to me is a deal breaker because I have a very energetic golden retriever. But you know, everyone's situation is different. So this is, like I said, the smallest and the lowest priced Ashton Woods home. And this is one of their cottages. Now we're gonna go check out one of their larger homes. So I'll see you over there. So I'd hope to check out one of their 70-foot lot estates. Unfortunately, none of those are built right now. The one closest to being built, they're building the driveway right now, so I couldn't get access to it. So I'm gonna show you another cottage. This is the largest cottage they have. It's their Barton floor plans, 2,063 square feet, 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2-story, and this one's listed at $379,000. So pan around so we can see, we are actually on a corner lot for this one, so the lot placement for this is really nice. And you can see empty lot over there, still building, and they're still building right next to us. So let's check out the Barton. Not my favorite exterior, right? All brick, that's a personal preference though. I do like the stone on the bottom here, and then the pillar looks great. And then we are on the edge, like I said, it's a corner lot, so you're gonna have this stone wall all the way down the left side. I like that we have this front patio space that's pretty private because you have this wall here, and then the next neighbor is going to be pretty far away. It may actually start a little bit up there, so very private area right here. Keypad like we had with the last house, 8-foot door like we had with the last house. Good amount of space with this. So like I said, 2,063 square feet. That means we're looking at about 663 square feet more than the previous house, and it shows. This is a way bigger feel than the last house and only 40 grand more. So I'm pretty impressed with the amount of space and how this floor plan uses it. We have a ton of room here in the entryway. I would probably do some sort of built-in here. Kick off the shoes here, have some hooks, that kind of thing. And then this leads to the underneath the stairs. So we have extra storage, which I find more helpful. Does that go around? Oh wow, that wraps even more. I find that more helpful than just a coat closet. Final plank flooring like the previous home. See, our main living area is right here. Dining area, some more of like a traditional dining areas off to the corner, right? Not just a straight rectangle. Much bigger island, really interesting design too. So lots of area for stools to fit around this island. You could probably fit 6 people comfortably on this side of it. I do like when the sink is not an island because it gives you way more space to work with. The last house couldn't do that because there was no window. This one, you do have a traditional window, and you can see the lot placement is fantastic. So really deep backyard, no rear neighbor. So I'm a big proponent of the lot is more important than the house, more often than not. And so getting this one, finding an inventory home that's still available on a great lot, it's surprising. So I was surprised to see that with this one. You can see they went with the range. So you kind of see what I'm talking about, where with the last house, it did look nicer when it's a built-in range, and then the oven below. This one doesn't look as fancy. It's the same concept though, you know, the same things, right? We have 5 burner. And then we do have a corner pantry, excuse me. So much larger pantry than the previous house. A little less exciting. We kind of have just whites for the cabinets. It's an okay countertop. I think the last house had a little bit more style to it, a little more pizzazz, if you will. Check out the backyard. No wasps on this one, so I'll actually walk out here. Really, really nice back patio. This is a very nice back patio for this price point. And then just the one step, and then this nice square backyard, which will be quiet when they're done building. But this is nice. I mean, that road is not going to be used too often. It's within the community, so it's a pretty peaceful spot out here. Really private too. I like that the swing of the house is the patios on this side, so the one neighbor you will have, you're still having your own privacy over here. So, very nice. Like I said, this would be the formal dining area. And then a little nook here, so another spot where you can kick off your shoes if you're coming in through the garage more often than not. And then we do have a coat closet here. And then this is your half bath. So pretty basic pedestal sink. It is quite large, I'll say, for a half bath. Here's our garage. No steps, so I appreciate that with this garage. Ashton Woods, I don't know if it's just these two, but they're doing a great job with their garage size. Again, it's about 2 feet from wall to door. So this is a super wide garage. You could actually comfortably fit 2 cars in here. This one, they went with the tankless water heater, which more builders are going in that direction. So that doesn't surprise me. Typically, tankless water heater is just gonna save you a little bit on your water bill. And I'm not seeing too many outlets. One there, one there. So very, very square. But very large for a 2-car garage, I will say. All right, let's check out upstairs. So something you may have noticed is we have now gone to the primary bedroom, right? So primary is upstairs. For some people, that's a deal breaker. I totally get it. I always prefer having a primary downstairs, but if you're younger, you know, stairs don't matter to you that much. I do think this layout is great because you also not just get the 3rd bedroom, but you get this landing too. So it's a pretty good amount of space for the landing. So beautiful banisters here, by the way. I love the white against the, is that walnut? I'm not sure. Dark wood. And then we have landing here, great extra space. Lots of natural light too. And kind of giving you a sense of just how much nature there is around La Cima. So even though you're right next to a road, it's mostly trees that you're looking at. Here's the primary bedroom. This one didn't excite me for a couple reasons. So it's a good size. It's a decent size for the primary, right? this closet is not good. For a primary bedroom, this is a very small closet. So that surprised me. And then this is just a very basic bathroom. It has everything you need, right? You have the 2 sinks, you have the walk-in shower, you have the bathtub, just little things that, you know, they didn't upgrade. So like this countertop isn't very exciting to me. The silver, the single pane of mirror right there. And then toilet back there, no linen closet. Same as last house though, you do have the tile flooring, not the acrylic pan, so that's a nice addition there. And it is nice having natural light coming in. It's just, you probably want to add some film over that for privacy. They did a good job with putting enough windows in to let in natural light. Here we just have a linen closet. And then here are the other 2 bedrooms. So, second bedroom, they did a good job with the size of both of these bedrooms. So this one's a good size, and actually the closet space is pretty good for a guest bedroom. It's not your standard little slit of a closet. And then second guest, I should say, third bedroom. Pretty good closet space. So definitely like this one because the bedrooms are much larger. I like that we have 2 windows too. Most of the time you'll see just 1 window in the guest rooms. And then here is their guest bathroom, just the 1 sink. I always prefer 2, not a big deal. Pretty basic. All right, nothing super exciting about this one. And then you do get a laundry room, so it's not a laundry closet with this floor plan. I like that we get natural light coming in. That's rare, especially in the price point we're looking at. And yeah, it's far enough away from everybody. Close the door. You're not going to deal with washer dryer sounds. So, you know, my final thoughts on Ashton Woods and these homes. I wish I could have seen the estates because it's just a different package, right? I like that Ashton has their 40-foot cottages, so it's going to be a smaller lot. But you're going to be able to get something in the 300,000s, which in La Cima, getting a really nice home in the 300,000s is great for, again, first-time homeowners or people who are looking to downsize. People just moving in from maybe outside the state and they want to do a full cash offer, but they want to live in a really nice neighborhood. These are really good options for them, especially with the 3.99% FHA or VA loan you can get. You know, right now FHA is 6.08% is what I saw yesterday when I looked. So getting that at 3.99%, closing costs paid, all the appliances included, blinds included. That's a pretty good deal if you are needing to finance the home in the 300,000. So that's nice. The estates look beautiful. That model home tour that you saw at the beginning of the video, I love that model home. That was really nice. I was like, I could see myself living in this. This is a nice 1-story, massive kitchen area. All the upgrades they put in there is really nice. And those homes start around 560,000. With upgrades, you're looking in the high 600,000s. So I like that Ashton Woods has those 2 products, right? You can get something smaller, which is still a good amount of space, and a decent amount of upgrades in the 300,000s, or you can get, this is my forever home, 3,000 square foot, 70-foot lot, big yard, custom home for high 600,000s, which pretty good price if you're looking for something like that. So the 3.99% FHA, that applies to both products. So if you are needing to finance either one, those incentives are pretty good. Most builders I've seen are doing like a 3.99% first year, then it goes up to 4.99%, or they're doing a either or, we'll give you that, but we won't help you with closing costs. I like Ashton Woods is offering both. And as I said at the beginning, they have 22 lots available for the 70-foot estates and 42 lots, I think, for the cottages. So if you do want to do the to-be-built route, it takes 6 months and you can get exactly the house on exactly the lot you want. So regardless if you are doing the to-be-built, you can always give me, to-be-built or inventory, you can always give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. It's really good for you to have an agent on your side that knows the area, that's going to fight for you to get a fair price and just fair terms in the negotiation. You know, my commission's paid for by the seller or the builder in this instance. So don't feel like you can't afford an agent. Definitely always reach out to an agent. That's why I do these videos, is just to reach out to more people, help them with powerful information that's going to make a difference financially to them with, buying a house is a big financial decision. So reach out anytime. You can text, call, email, love to help you. Until next time, I will see you guys around the neighborhood.